Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now, your #1 source for tips, tricks, and everything in between for fantasy football. Today, we're going to be doing my team selection for Game Week 5. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like, leave a comment, who are you going to captain this week? Subscribe if you're brand new. Let's get into it. So, starting things off, here we have my Game Week 5 team. So what I'm going to do is just go through my keeper, then the defenders, then the midfielders, strikers, and then my bench. And obviously just kind of talk through each selection as I go down them. But basically, I did wildcard last week. It's a bit weird making my videos now, kind of Game Week 5, because you don't really understand like my thought process that went on the first 4 game weeks, but I'll kind of explain it as I go through the videos later on down the line. But either way, let's get into the team. So in net, we have Sanchez, the Brighton keeper. I mean, he's basically a staple on every single team at this point. He's a very cheap option, gets a few clean sheets here and there. Brighton are pretty solid at the back. Hasn't really gotten any save point bonuses this season so far, though. I think he's made like 1 save in like 4 game weeks, which is kind of mad. But either way, that could also be a good thing. It means that Brighton are just doing a really good job at the back. However, though, this week they do have Leicester. I mean, they are at home, but at the same time, Leicester, they've got a really good attacking force. So I'm expecting a goal or 2 to go in against us, unfortunately. But maybe we'll make a few more saves, get a bonus point here or there with obviously all the saves that he makes. But, you know, I'm not expecting much from him. Probably 2 points, 1 point probably, but it is what it is. You can't have a good game every single week with your keeper, especially if you've only got 1 option. Anyway, next up we have our defense. So I'm playing Trent, I'm playing Kieran Tierney, and I'm also playing Semedo. So Trent, obviously just a staple. Just you have to have Trent. You know, if you don't have him, you don't know what you're doing, because already this season he's got like 13 points on like 2 of the game weeks, which is just a madness. Liverpool have a ridiculous run of fixtures as well. Like, he's a bit pricey, obviously, but he delivers. He definitely delivers. He's the postman. So yeah, Trent, I don't really have to speak about that too much, because he's at home to Crystal Palace. I mean, you want to play him. Next up, we have Tierney. Now, they are away at Burnley. So I brought Tierney on my wild card last week where we had Norwich at home. I obviously got the 7 points, I think, from him. I think I got 1 bonus on him, which is pretty good. You know, I'm happy with that. I was hoping for an assist maybe, or a goal against Norwich at home is probably the best fixture they're going to get all season, but unfortunately he didn't. He did get the 1 bonus though, so, you know, it's not that bad. But yeah, Tierney are obviously away at Burnley. I mean, his fixtures are pretty good. For obviously, that's what everyone's kind of jumping on. Ben White and stuff, he's much cheaper, but Tierney obviously much more attacking. And look at that fixture list. I mean, Burnley, Tottenham at home. I mean, Tottenham were terrible against Crystal Palace, so I'm not even too worried about playing him in that game week. And then obviously we have Brighton, then Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Leicester, and then Watford. And then even after like Liverpool and Man United, he still has a really good fixture run there as well. So I'm probably going to be holding Tierney for a while, unless obviously Arsenal just develop an even worse defensive record than they already have. I mean, they've got a lot of their defensive players back now, so that's kind of why I brought him in. Obviously, Ben White returning, and Gabriel as well. So I kind of took a chance, and it paid off, I guess, with the 7 points. But hopefully he can return again against Burnley. And then finishing things off, we have Semedo at the back. Again, I spoke about him in the transfer tips video yesterday. Semedo was really attacking in the last game week, and again had 2 really good attempts on goal. Should have scored 1 of them, and like I say, if 1 of those went in, everybody would be bringing him in. But obviously everyone's jumped on Marcel because he got the 2 assists. Only 2.9% of people own him though, and I think that he's gonna pay off. And obviously having Brentford, then Southampton, Newcastle, Villa, Leeds, we all know how good Wolves fixtures are, so hopefully he will return something at home at Brentford, maybe even an assist, maybe a goal. I'm hoping for a return from this week. I kind of need one with everybody wildcarding this week with all the problems that are happening with like DCL and Antonio and stuff. I kind of need some good returns from my defenders that not a lot of people have. So hopefully Semedo and Tierney do get me some points. Next up, though, we're moving on to the midfield. So here we're playing Sarr, Jota, Salah, Torres, and Sissoko. So you're probably wondering, like, why are you playing 2 Watford players? Well, it's because I have to. Unfortunately, I made the big mistake of transferring out Antonio when he obviously got the red card. I had DCL as well. DCL was pictured like 3 times in training this week, so why would you go to training 3 times if you had a broken toe? I jumped the wagon. Like, it is what it is. I mean, I saw the training picture and I thought, oh, he's definitely going to play. Wasn't the situation, unfortunately, so I kind of just bit the bullet and transferred out to Antonio out, so I didn't kind of lose on the price drop. Shouldn't have done it. It is a schoolboy error, but I just, because of the training pictures, I thought DCL was definitely going to play. But now he's out for 3 or 4 weeks. I kind of have to play Sissoko because obviously I'd have to take a hit for Calvert-Lewin. I'll go over that when I'm talking about my forwards. But basically, Sarr hasn't returned since I brought him in. I brought him in like the last couple of game weeks. He hasn't really done anything. Obviously played Tottenham, which he should have scored. He had like a really, really good chance. And then obviously playing last week, didn't return again. They're away at Norwich this week though, which is why I am still worried about playing 2 Watford players. But away at Norwich, it's basically one of the best fixtures you can get all season, especially with how bad Norwich are at the moment. So yeah, hopefully Sarr does get me something. He is on pens as well, most likely, so hopefully he does get me a return there. Then obviously we've got Jota and Salah at home to Crystal Palace. Jota I brought in on my game week last week when we found out that Firmino was obviously injured. I'm not worried about Jota at all until kind of minutes start getting managed, but for now, Firmino is injured. He's going to be playing 90 every game until we get an update on that. So yeah, Jota I'm fine with. And then when captaining the GOAT, Mo Salah at home, Crystal Palace, always returns against them. I'm hoping for a couple of goals. Crystal Palace obviously really good against Tottenham last week, but they were playing against 10 men. Dyer went off, and I think they got a penalty as well. So, I mean, Crystal Palace, yeah, they weren't really good the first 3 game weeks. Maybe they just got lucky last week. Who knows? We'll have to find out. But I'm very confident that Salah is going to return this week. Next up, we have Torres. Ferran Torres obviously seems to be kind of stapled. He did only get 60 minutes in the last game week, but he did play in the Champions League last night. He scored, but it was offside. And he has a really, really good fixture at home to Southampton. So if he plays, which I'm hoping he will, I'm hoping for at least one return from him. Now, what I'm probably going to do after this week, though, because his fixtures do kind of get a little bit bad, having Chelsea and Liverpool both away, probably like 2 of the worst fixtures you'll get all season, I'm probably going to transfer him out and bring in Rafinha. And then maybe transfer Sarr into Torres again when I downgrade Ronaldo into Lukaku in game week 7, because obviously I kind of want to be targeting Burnley at home, Brighton away, and Crystal Palace at home. Really good fixtures there. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I'm going to see if he's stapled first. And obviously we have Sissoko away at Norwich again, just because I have to play him. He has had a couple of shots, and I don't know, maybe he'll just get maybe it'll just be the game week where sometimes these players just get a ridiculous return, like they'll get like a goal and an assist or something and 3 bonus out of nowhere, and I'm hoping that's the game week for Sissoko this week. He did have a couple shots last week, but yeah, I'm hoping for just absolutely anything from him. My midfield, I mean, most of my points are going to be coming through Jota, Salah and Torres, I'm hoping. So if Sarr and Sissoko get absolutely anything, then happy days. Next up, though, we obviously have my forwards, Bamford and Ronaldo. Bamford I brought in for Antonio, like I say. Bamford, again, still might be an injury concern, but he should be all right. Away at Newcastle. Newcastle, obviously, they're just not doing well at the moment, so I'm hoping that Bamford will score. He is on pens as well, so hopefully he does return. I'm a little bit worried about not owning Rafinha because I feel like he will score, so I'm going to need something from Sissoko or Sarr or something from Semedo or Tierney or something like that just to kind of match that, because I think pretty much everyone's going to have Rafinha at this point. He's low budget and he's just a really, really good option. And then obviously I'm playing Ronaldo away at West Ham, vice captain. He did score in the Champions League again a couple of nights ago. I'm confident that he'll return against West Ham, especially with Antonio being out. So yeah, hopefully he does get something. Maybe like, he can't keep it up forever, but he's Ronaldo. He's gonna score it, hopefully anyway. And obviously after that, they do have Villa at home. And I'm pretty much going to do what everyone else is doing and just downgrade him to Lukaku. I think he did actually have a price rise last night. I think he's 12.6 now. He's 12.6 mil now. So, yeah, a lot of people are still bringing him in. He'll probably have a price fall when obviously game week 7 hits and Lukaku is just a much better option. But that is what it is. Again, really, really unfortunate that I took out Antonio for Bamford. If I knew that Bamford was injured, then I would have just held Antonio and then played him next week. Anyway, my bench is Steele, obviously just a second-hand Brighton keeper is what it is. We've got Williams, Livramento, and then of course we've got Calvert-Lewin. So Williams, I mean, I could play at home to Watford, but at the same time, I don't really want to be playing Sarr and Williams against each other. I think it's going to be like goals on both sides. I think it's going to be like 2-1 to Watford, so we'll have to see what happens. But I'm hoping Sarr and Sissoko have the quality to get me something. Williams is just there. He's a cheap option. He's playing every game, but it's for Norwich. I mean, I think there is a 3.9 defender now as well that you can get, but he's 3.9. like recently, and obviously he wasn't 3.9 when I did my wild card. Got Livramento. I mean, no way I'm going to be playing him against Man City away. It's just going to be like 4-0, isn't it? Let's be honest. And obviously DCL again. I'm still really annoyed that I just bit the bullet early and transferred him out. What I'm probably going to do is next week I'm probably going to take a hit and transfer Calvert-Lewin and Torres into Rafinha and Antonio, because Antonio is back next week against is it Leeds or something like that? I think it is Leeds, and then obviously he's got like Brentford as well, so he's got some really good fixtures, and Antonio is pretty much the best striker for that like price range. But yeah, it's just unfortunate. I mean, I could transfer Calvert-Lewin out this week, but I'd either bring in Jimenez, which again I'm not sold on yet. He has had like 13 shots so far this season, but at the same time he hasn't returned. Jimenez is on pens, which is very interesting. He might return against Brentford at home, and if he does, then it's my own problem. But you know, if I was going to take because I've already made my transfer into Bamford this week, if I was going to bring Jimenez in, I would need him to return. Otherwise, I would just lost points. So hopefully Sissoko, if Sissoko does something, then I'm fine, happy days, or even Sarr for that matter. But we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, probably bring in Antonio and Rafinha next week. Take the hit for Torres and DCL, and then I should be okay. I haven't taken a hit this season yet. My rank is only 683,000. I've only got 286 points. I'm not really doing too well at the moment, but hopefully I can bring it in. I mean, I'm not expecting massive amount of points this week. Next week maybe, but we'll have to see. But anyway, that's going to be my team for game week 5. Let me know what you're captaining this week. I think most people are going to be going Mo Salah, but there might be a couple people going for like Torres, maybe even Jota, Bamford even, and of course a lot of people will be captaining Ronaldo as well. So yeah, let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're brand new, again leave a comment who you're captaining, and until next time, peace.